friends. Good morning. I think we are about to hit live. Let's see which one picks up steam first. There we go. All right. This seems to be working. And this one. Is it? The wrong stream, of course. Let's see. Oh, wow. Hey, good morning. Seems like people are already watching, which is good. And this one's also working, and that's great. And if you're in chat, you can drop by and say hey. And I'm glad that we're here this morning. It is 5:22 a.m., friends, so it's time to get started. For those of you who are watching, thanks for dropping by. My name is Toby. I am 41 years old, and I train to live an active, self-sufficient, and adventurous life. I do so by minding my sleep. I try to get 7 to 9 hours of sleep a day. I do so by minding what I eat. I try to eat within my energy balance. Weight maintenance is the goal here. And I try to eat lots of greens and healthy vegetables and whole foods and all kinds of things that would be considered health foods, so to speak, I guess, to make sure that I'm getting those nutrients in. And I try to eat sufficient protein to meet my strength and muscle building goals. So I try to eat 60 to 80 grams of protein on a regular day and 80 to 100 grams of protein on a day like today, where I do some weight training. Usually I do that by supplementing with a protein shake, and then we're there, give or take. Plant foods and coffee. Hey, what's up? Thanks for dropping by, saying hi. I'm doing all right. I actually have the microphone on the other stream, so I'm streaming both horizontally and vertically, but I'm doing all right. How are you doing? I hope you're doing all right. Poor man's Jim, what's up? How's it going? I'm glad you're here. Hope you're doing all right. And I hope life is treating you well. I hope the training is going well for both of you, whatever it is that you're doing this week. I'm doing strength training this morning. It's Friday. It's a good way to start the weekend, despite being somewhat sore from judo Wednesday night. But hey, can't win them all. Am I right? Let's see. I also show up for training 7 days a week. So I do kettlebells Mondays, Wednesdays, and Fridays. I do mobility Tuesday, Thursday, Saturday. I go for a run on Sunday or a long walk. And I do judo on Wednesday night nowadays. And I try to be active throughout the day. Most of the days I get about an hour of walking in and maybe 30 minutes of other activities, sometimes even an hour of other activities. So overall, there's usually around 2.5 hours of being physically active spread throughout the day, which I'm very happy with, which I really like. I am very curious what those crowns are on on your chat, by the way. Good man. Going to drink kettlebell in the morning. Just getting that extra boost from watching you. I love it. And I appreciate that. If you're doing all right. Yeah, the audio is better on the other stream. I can't put on two microphones, I know. But I'm sure, you can maybe hear me, and otherwise pop over to my channel, because there's the horizontal stream there with better sound. All right. This is about the way I feel, not about the way I look. I would like to feel fit, capable, and competent for living. I would like to be able to do a lot of things that I'm doing today when I'm 50, 60, 70, even into my 80s. I would like to have an adventurous life. I would be able to get low by the floor and get up by myself, be able to walk up mountains, be able to carry my own luggage, be able to do my own grocery shopping. There are a lot of things that I would like to be able to do, and I would like to be able to live, discomfort and disease free for as long as I can. And I've understood that by making certain lifestyle changes, that is actually possible. The hard part is figuring out which lifestyle changes are going to fit and stick in a life full of demands, responsibilities, and commitments. But I'm sure we'll figure that out as well. A part of that is that I want to keep my muscles and body strong and fit and capable, and that includes both mobility but also strength and muscle volume, but also keeping the amount of fat or soft tissue as low as I can manage without straining or stressing myself. So no extreme diets, no strange weight loss programs, just trying to understand that there is a balance between what I eat and how much fat I carry around, and how exercise and movement may or may not influence that. But the goal is not a six-pack. The goal is to be fit and healthy over time. We're going to do some heavier training today. So I have the 220s, the 216s, and the 1/8 for overhead presses there. And we're going to be taking it somewhat easy, so not every minute on the minute. But we're going to do every 2 minutes, and we're going to wrap this up with we're going to mix some push-ups into it as well. So I hope you're ready. I know I am. And the only way to get anything done, friends, is by showing up and doing the work. So we are just going to have to get started. I'm just going to warm up a little bit. I'm going to have to get another set of microphones. I'm going to be dual streaming every morning like this. Okay, let's see. Because there's quite some soreness and stiffness. I don't know if you've ever done judo, but when you start to get thrown by men of about 100 kilos or 80 kilos, there's a whole new reality of health and fitness out there, that's for sure. Hey, there we have 40 kilos worth of kettlebells. And I'm very mindful of what happened to my back the last time these heavy ones were out. So we're going to be extra careful. And we're going to alternate that with a row who's lively on the chat and busy international scout to RFU this world record. Yeah, I wish, like I said at the top, definitely a personal record. No, it's not about setting records. It's about health and fitness, and about staying fit, capable, and competent for living, not only now, but the next 40 years of life. But I appreciate the support, and I hope you're doing well where you're at in the world. And thanks for dropping by. Next set, I'm going to alternate this with some gorilla rows. Again, this is relatively heavy, but we're going to do it because it is a heavy training day. And we have a lot of time to fill with exercises like this. So we can also have a conversation about health and fitness and where strength training fits in. By the way, strength training is a relatively large word, right? Because I think I could, last time I did a test with myself, I could easily deadlift, I think around 100 kilos. So it's also a matter of perspective. This is half my body weight-ish. I'd like to get the heavier ones in. That had been the original plan for this year, to get 232s for body weight training. I mean, that would put me at 2/3 of my body weight, which would be a slightly different challenge. But then I hurt my back and I wasn't sure I was actually going to be able to pick up a heavy kettlebell over time. Now it looks fine again, but we still need to be mindful, and we still have to do the squats also with the double 16. And I want to see how it goes when I rack those two squats, not from a dead clean, which is how I injured my back, but from a swing clean, which is probably a smarter thing to do with heavier weights. So we live and learn. next one, a set of gorilla rows. We're getting there. Right? We're just going to keep going, taking it nice and easy and slowly. I think one of the bigger mistakes we can make in life is thinking we have to do everything fast. We need to be in a hurry. We need to lift as heavy as we can today and then as heavy as we can on the next session. But actually, to be very honest, what we need is to just be consistent and to have fun. With the things that we are doing. To make sure that we are able to continue on our journey over an extended period of time. Just think about it this way. If the goal is to be fit and healthy at 80, it means we have to figure out something that we can do continuously for the next, for me, 40 and maybe even 50 years, right? I'm sure in your 20s for the next 70 years. So you better find something that you enjoy. You better find something that you want to come back to time and again. High Energy Ape, hey, it's good to see you, buddy. It's Jim also. Let's stay fit. Yeah, I love it. Hope you're having a good workout, and I hope that life is treating you well, and I appreciate you dropping by and saying hi. So, we need to figure out things that we can do only now, but over time, and that we enjoy doing. And I think that's one of the hardest things that we can do, one of the hardest gifts that we can give ourselves. But if we give it to ourselves, I think the payoff is going to be quite significant, right? And so, in that light, my goal is not to deadlift a personal record or to deadlift 100 kilos every time I deadlift, even though I'm pretty sure the muscular development and strength development would be awesome in working towards something like that. I think the main goal here is to provide my body with a regular stimulus that is sufficient for it to maintain muscle mass, to grow a little muscle mass, to use the energy that I have stored through food or already in my body for the task at hand, to stay strong, to stay lean-ish, because I'm not super lean, but that is an ongoing challenge. And in that vein, to to try and keep ourselves as fit and as healthy and as capable as possible for life and living. I'm just going to have to run upstairs because it started raining and there's a window open, so I'm going to be right back. YouTube Punk, thanks for dropping by. I just have to go close the window because it started raining. I'll be right back. There we go. I don't know if you can hear me, but it's better than having the house flooded. And ta-da! Right on time again for the next set of deadlifts, which is great. YouTube Punk, what's up? How's life in Texas? Last set of deadlifts this morning. Oh, let's see. No pull today. Exactly. I hate it when that happens. I already have to have the floor in one of the rooms redone because of a leakage. Life, the joys of owning a house. I want to own a house. Give me a mortgage and a lifetime of worries because every week something needs to be repaired. Anyway, it's also consistent, right? I think it's part of life to just consistently have to have things to concern yourself with. I think that's the good life, in a way. If those are my main concerns. How am I going to stay healthy till I'm 85, and how do I fix a leak in my home? All right, we are going to move on to some squats and some push-ups. Push-ups, obviously, we're going to do, as you can see by the setup, on the kettlebells. Let's see how that goes. Let's see how my shoulder responds to that. And then from there, we're going to move on to .32 kilos front squat with two 16-kilo kettlebells. And again, not incredibly heavy. We're at 1/3 of my body weight, a bit over. So we're not overdoing it, we're not underdoing it. The only thing we're doing is providing sufficient stimulus for our body to build and maintain the muscle to stay strong and capable enough to do such things. And to be very honest, unless you compete in sports, right? Like I could go all crazy and say, "Ooh, I want to be one of the better judokas in the age range of 40 in this region." And then maybe you'd start to train differently. But that is not the goal. The goal is to stay fit and healthy for life. And in staying fit and healthy, find joy and pleasure in the activities that I undertake to do that, like the art of judo, the science of judo, not the sport of judo anymore, even though I can appreciate watching it and enjoy a fun match, a test of strength as much as the next person. But that is definitely a young man's game for multiple reasons. Right? If I blow out a knee or injure my back now, it sets me back on a whole bunch of other goals. So just keep that in mind, whatever you choose to do. It's about finding things that we enjoy, being consistent in doing them, and figuring out a way to do these kinds of things for a lifetime. And that is obviously heavy, and I cannot easily explain why that is, but it is. So let's just have a sip of water. So, you need to think about these things, right? You need to have a plan and be able to stick with it over time. Because most things will work if you show up 100 times in a year or 150 times in a year. That's 3 times a week. And giving yourself 2 weeks of break with that number, right? Most things will work just fine. But the key is figuring out what to do. The parameters of this thing called life. But I'm sure you figured that out already. I'm not telling you anything you didn't know about life and living and staying healthy. But if you're watching and you're enjoying the conversation and the thought-provoking statements that I'm making, I'm not, but I hope you get the joke. Go ahead, check out my channel, hit like, subscribe. We can continue the conversation in a different setting, in videos, other live streams. The podcast, same goes for everyone who's watching here. If you're interested in what I'm saying, or if you want to hop over to my channel and find the stream with the sound, you can hear me better maybe, and we can have the conversation today or in the future if you hit like and subscribe. Do me a favor, hit like, maybe get that count up from 2 to 10. That'd be awesome. And the